You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Hispanic Chamber Connection. This is a radio program that features and promotes members of the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. This show is broadcast from Lone Star Community Radio in downtown Conroe and can be heard on 104.5 and 106.1 FM or on the internet at irlonestar.com, or you can watch us as a Facebook Live on the Hispanic Chamber's Facebook page. My name is Tom Brody. I'm the Vice President of Membership for the Chamber, and this program is sponsored by the Amel Agency, who's an executive partner in the Chamber and is a full-service residential and commercial service agency. A quick update on Dr. Carlos Sanchez. He is back, ladies and gentlemen. Last week, he made a surprise appearance at our Galleria meeting, and this week, he always got a scheduled meeting on Friday morning. It's Coffee with Carlos at 7:30. So if you're looking for some business advice, that would be the one thing to check out. But today, I want to welcome Breanne Turner. She's the owner of Hope and Faith Fitness. Breanne, thank you for being with us today. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
That's awesome. We'll be talking to Breanne a little bit more in a few minutes, but I want to talk about the Chamber Connection. This radio program is one of the many benefits of membership in the Chamber. So if you're a member and haven't appeared on this radio program, please send me an email at tom@tombrody.biz, and we'll get you on the calendar. We've had such a great response from our members this year that we are currently booked through June. So if you want to, this is a weekly program and you want to be on it, let's go ahead and pick a date and contact me and we'll get you on the schedule, because it's a weekly program, so there's lots of opportunities, but the longer you wait, the longer it's going to be before you get on the show. We also have a radio show in Spanish. That's part of our chamber benefits as well. That's Thursdays at 10 o'clock on AM station 920, and that's also booked up through mid-June. So this is a very popular benefit, and I urge you strongly to go ahead and take advantage of that. One of the things our president, Dr. Carlos, always says that the Hispanic Chamber has 4 goals in mind for its members. Number 1 is visibility. Number 2 is business connections. Number 3 is targeted education. And number 4 is member advocacy. And I can think of no better way to fulfill all these 4 goals than to have you and your business featured on one of our radio programs. The Chamber also has an email newsletter that goes out every week. It informs our members and guests about upcoming meetings and events. And if you're not getting this newsletter now, please contact me. Again, my email is tom@tombrody.biz, and we'll get you on that list. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask Breanne, you can text them to me at 713-906-3710, and we will ask them on the air. So with all that business taken care of, Breanne, why don't you tell us what Hope and Faith Fitness is all about?
Educating and empowering others to lead the healthiest lifestyle that they can.
Right. So I know that you're a busy mom of twins. What motivated you to start a personal training business?
After I had them, I suffered from postpartum depression for quite a while.
Okay.
And I found my way out of that. Part of the way I found my way out was through exercise. And if you would have asked me 8 years ago that it would have morphed into this, I would have laughed at you.
Right.
But it did. So I started off with just doing at-home workout programs for myself, just for my sanity, because it fit into the stay-at-home mom lifestyle.
Right.
Packing up 2 little ones and going to the gym just was not, it wasn't going to happen.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah. So I started doing that, and I found the Beachbody community, and that led me into coaching and doing things, but I knew that there was more out there. I had kind of reached my limit with the at-home programs and wanted to really make a difference for the masses, I guess.
Okay. All right. Very good. So how many fitness programs did you try before finding the right one for you?
I probably went through at least 10 at-home programs.
Really? Okay.
Kind of sprinkled in with the gym. I had always gone to the gym, my entire adult life, if you will, and enjoyed it. Once I cycled through about 10 different programs, I realized, okay, I really need to figure out a next step. And my husband is actually the one that pushed me into pursuing my personal training certification.
Oh.
I did that. I still didn't know what I was going to do. And then that kind of it morphed from there. I started training out of my home in a very crude setup. And it's just evolved from there.
Okay. All right. One of the things that I saw on your website, I was doing the research, that you had followed an insanity program. That sounds pretty interesting. Why don't you tell us about that a little bit?
It's just like it sounds. It's
Okay.
insane. It's a nonstop cardio workout for
Gotcha.
about
Okay.
45 minutes to an hour for 60 days.
Wow.
It's insane.
That it, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And this is all cardio stuff you can do at home?
This particular program was, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I started out as a cardio queen, as we like to say. So,
Okay. So now that you've gone through this process yourself, what advice do you give those that want to get in better shape, but they're just not sure how to do that? What's the best way to start, in other words?
just start. Just
Okay.
start where you're at. You don't need a fancy gym. You don't need a gym membership. You don't even need a personal trainer to start. Just start walking. Drink some water. Just the more you can move, the better.
Okay.
And that's a wonderful place to start.
Yeah. Okay. So I know you had gone through kind of this personal training renaissance on your own, but was there anything else in your life that kind of triggered your real desire to help other people get in better shape?
Yes, because I knew that it was so important for me, and it helped me so much. And I figured, okay, if that's doing this for me, there's got to be other women out there that are struggling with the same issues.
Right.
I had always worked outside of the home, and going from being a working wife to a stay-at-home mom was really hard.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just a really good fit for me. I was able to still continue to help people and add to our family income. I was still able to stay home with my girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one of the things that, and I think you mentioned it on your website too, is that you saw your grandparents, and saw some decline. And I think it's kind of generational, because I had that same experience with my dad. Once he retired, he kind of sat in his chair and watched TV, and that was it.
Yeah.
I know, and you can see that takes a toll.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
So,
Yeah.
and so that kind of put it in your own mindset that you didn't want to be that, right?
I
You didn't want to
did.
be a burden on your children.
For sure. And watching your family members, it's so hard to, there's only so much you can do.
Right.
And watching family members suffer from illnesses that they could have prevented, it's really hard.
Right.
And that's not a trend that I want to continue for my children.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, very good. Okay. So, and you mentioned the one thing about getting started is just to start. But, and you kind of mentioned this, but as a personal trainer, I mean, that's going to add something to someone's workout, right? I mean, as far as having someone to be accountable to, isn't
For
that
sure.
it's going to be more beneficial than just, because if you do it on your own, it's like, well, I'm going to take the day off. If you've got
Absolutely.
somebody there to push you.
Absolutely. The accountability is huge.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you have some skin in the game, if you're paying somebody to teach you, to coach you,
Right.
you're less likely to skip out on that. I feel that everybody can benefit from a coach, whether it's a business coach or a life coach or whatever. What's the word? Doesn't matter what your
Right.
business is. Everybody can benefit from help.
Yeah.
Right.
I-
You're never too good.
Right.
I have a trainer.
Really?
So I have a mentor that I go to if
Okay.
I'm stuck or whatever. So I think everybody can benefit from that for sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. So what's the best way to select a personal trainer? I mean, if someone wants to get started and they know that, that they're maybe not motivated enough to do it on their own, they want a personal trainer, but at the same time, they don't want a drill instructor type personal trainer.
Right.
What kind of, is there some advice you can give people to what things to look for, what questions to ask?
Yeah, one thing that I get a lot of this on social media, and so I'll reach out to the party that's questioning
Right.
privately and say, regardless of who you go with, make sure you like them. You're
Okay.
going to be spending a lot of time. You're going to be paying them. You need to click with them.
Okay.
I mean, you're not going to be best friends, but you should have some type of connection there, right?
Okay.
If you're going to be trusting this person with your health. And you need to make sure that your trainer gets to know you first. If you walk into a gym on the street and they say, okay, we're going to get to work today. Here's the meal plan for you. This is what you need to do. You need to run,
Okay.
okay? Because they don't know you.
Right.
How can somebody tell you what to eat if they don't know you? How can
Okay.
somebody tell you how to work out if they don't know you?
Right.
If they don't know your history, your life, if they don't know what type of job you have, what type of injuries you might have, or anything like that. So it's really important that whomever you interview to be your trainer, that they're taking a really thorough history on you.
Okay.
So that's definitely something really, really important. And reach out to people that they've worked with before. A good trainer won't have a problem giving you their current clients or previous clients' contact information to chat.
Okay. So just like anything, get referrals.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And check references, I
Yeah.
guess, especially if they know, if they're working with somebody you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
sure.
So what are the type of questions that you should expect a personal trainer to ask you?
They should get a thorough personal history.
Okay.
Any surgeries, limitations, medications. What type of job do you currently have? We need to know if you're sitting at a desk all day. Are you on your feet all day?
Okay.
Pregnancies for women, obviously,
Right.
hormonal issues, anything you can think of. What type of workouts have you done in the past? What's worked for you in the past? What doesn't work for you now? What do you loathe doing? Do you have anything you're not willing to compromise on? Things like that. So just the more detailed, the better.
Right. Okay. That's very good. So kind of talking about these and referrals and things, I was wondering, where do most of your clients come from now? Are they word of mouth or social media?
At this point, it's word of mouth and
Really?
social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
So very good. So I know that you're a fairly recent member of the chamber.
Yes.
Right, in the Hispanic chamber. I was just going to ask you, how has that been for you as far as personal growth, business growth? What's your opinion of the chamber so far?
It's been great. Everyone is so welcoming, and I love the diversity. And I just think there's so much value that the chamber brings, like this radio show, for example.
Right.
It's fantastic. The Latinas networking, the little extra meeting that we get is wonderful. So I just can't wait to see how my business is going to grow and how I can help others within the chamber grow their businesses as well.
Right. Have you looked at other joining other chambers of commerce, or are you members of other chambers?
I was a member of something in the Woodlands
Okay.
a while back. That pretty much gives you the answer, right?
Okay, right.
I never did anything with them because they never did anything. It was always
Oh.
this standing lunch meeting at just a very generic type thing.
Okay.
Just once a month, and it just wasn't conducive for my schedule. So,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Well, good. Because I know that the Hispanic Chamber, if everyone's never been to one of our meetings, it's a little different from what you might have experienced somewhere else, and that's why we pride ourselves on that. Because the one thing that we really, it's different, and I'm seeing other networking groups start to do this too. But up until recently, visitors for a lot of different organizations, they didn't want to talk to you until you joined.
Right.
Or they wouldn't let you talk in meetings, and we're different about that.
Right.
So early on in all our meetings, if there's ever a visitor there, we get them up and want to learn about them, how they found us, what they do, and just, how we can help them grow their business. So that's the one thing that's interesting. And I know that in the chamber itself is that, like you said, everyone's very welcoming and wanting to make you be successful, but be part of the group and get to know people.
For
Because
sure.
that's how you're going to be successful as
sure.
well. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the best way to reach you if someone's wanting to talk to you about hiring you?
I have website, social media, but you can email me at hopefaithfit@gmail.com, or
Okay.
you can call or text, whatever your preference is. And is it okay to give my number?
Absolutely.
Yes,
That's why you're here.
713-818-6625.
I should repeat that one more time.
All right. The phone number is 713-818-6625.
Okay, awesome. One of the things that we've been talking with Breanne Turner, who's what I'm going to call a realistic personal trainer, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But when we come back, we're going to talk about how she manages the jobs of mom of twins and wife and business owner. Stay with us.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app for your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That is Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Statistics show that 1 out of every 6 Texans struggles with food insecurity and hunger. And many people don't eat enough fruits and vegetables every day. The Better Living for Texans program is here to help you learn how to make healthy menu choices, save money at the grocery store, prepare quick and delicious meals, get more good nutrition in your day, and get more physical activity. Classes are fun, friendly, interactive, and free, and taught in English and Spanish. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
This is Rick, TRC. Every Tuesday on my show, Afternoons with Lone Star from 3 to 7, I play back-to-back classic rock hits. That's right. I like to call it a 2 for Tuesday or a 3 for whatever it is you'd like. Call the request line 936-647-3776 or message me on Facebook, Afternoons with Lone Star, make a music request. That's right, you can do it. Here's what else. Go over to our website, irlonestar.com. Get the app on your phone. It's easy. You'll like it.
The Hispanic Chamber Connection is sponsored by the Amel Insurance Agency, located at 719 Sawdust Road, Suite 103, the Woodlands, Texas. The Amel Agency is a family-owned insurance agency that provides home, life, automobile, and umbrella insurance coverage. Since 2006, the Amel Agency has been a bilingual insurance service for businesses and private citizens in the Montgomery County area. For more information on the Amel Insurance Agency, please visit the Hispanic Chamber Connection at www.irlonestar.com/HCC. The Amel Insurance Agency is available by telephone at 832-525-5656 or online www.amelagency.com. The Amel Insurance Agency is a sponsor of this program, and the Hispanic Chamber Connection thanks you.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the Hispanic Chamber Connection. It's a radio program that features and promotes members of the Texas Gulf Coast Chamber of Commerce. My name is Tom Brody. I'm the Vice President of Membership for the Chamber. And if you have any questions that you'd like to ask Breanne Turner, who's our guest today, please text them to me at 713-906-3710. So when we went to break, we talked about how we're going to ask Breanne how she, what's her secret for being a stay-at-home mom and the owner of a personal training business and the mom of twins and a wife. How do you do all that?
Just like everybody else does. There's no secret. For me, my family is my first priority.
Okay.
And everything else comes under that after them. One thing that I'm really, really strict on is not overscheduling.
Okay, very good.
I see so many everyone is just overscheduled to death.
Mm-hmm.
Their kids are in 14 different activities.
Oh, yeah.
They live in their cars. They're not getting home till 9 o'clock at night. Their children aren't sleeping like they should. They're eating on the go. There's never any downtime.
Right.
People don't know how to say no. And I do.
Okay.
I learned that a couple years ago because I was turning into one of those and realized I don't have to do all the things. I don't have to volunteer at every single thing and be, the president of this. And you don't have to do all that.
Right.
And I think people have forgotten that. Being busy is glorified now. And I'm not. I have time to do things. My girls are still young. They're not involved in a whole lot of activities. So I know that's part of it. And I have some friends that their children are fantastic at, baseball or swimming,
Right.
Gymnastics. And they choose to do that. And I think that's important. So please don't mistake that
No, I understand.
for me saying that. But I just pride myself on not overscheduling, and everything else is scheduled, if that makes sense. I have a lot of free time in our calendar.
Okay.
So we have downtime and we can enjoy. And that's kind of how I just keep things running
Okay.
smoothly.
Now, that makes a lot of sense. And actually, that's how my wife and I were when our kids were small. We said, pick one thing, and that's what we're going to do. Because I knew some of their friends that, like you said, they had 4 or 5 things that were scheduled. There was never any downtime, and the kids are going to these things, and they didn't want it.
Right.
I talked to my daughter's friends, and she was going to ballet. And I said, one time we were talking, I said, do you enjoy it? She said, no, I hate it. I said, tell your mom. Well, no, she wants me to go. I said, but she's spending money that she doesn't have to if you don't like it.
Right.
Why do that? And I just, and like you said, everybody else thinks they have to be busy. And I think my kids kind of like the fact that they had some downtime. They could be kids, and that was important. So
we've made ours over the years that the activities that they do pick, they have to be committed to that for
Absolutely.
the term. Even if they don't like it, you need to fulfill your commitment.
Sure.
And we just won't redo it the next semester or whatever it is. But I want my kids to be kids. I think it's important.
yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that too. And they grow up way too fast
They do. They
now
do.
with the social media and everything else they're exposed to that they don't need to be.
Yes, agreed.
And it's hard to filter that.
Yes.
And so we tried to do that, just limiting the activities, because there's no reason you had to be in baseball and band, and piano and violin,
Right.
and all the things. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I thought was funny, and we'll talk about this a little bit, is that you use the acronym SAHM. and I, quite frankly, didn't know what that was until I had to think about it and see the way you were using it in context. And that stands for stay-at-home mom, right?
Right.
Okay, very good. And the one thing I didn't look up is I didn't know how to pronounce that, right? So I actually went to an Urban Dictionary and found out how to pronounce it. And it's Psalm, which is kind of phonetically how you think it would be pronounced. But I just thought that was odd. So is that something that's, I mean, being a guy, I wouldn't know this, but is that something that's commonly used
Oh, for sure.
as a shortcut?
For sure. Social
Yeah.
media has just coined that. And then the WAHM, the work at home mom.
Ah, gotcha.
So yes.
Okay, very good. All right. So this are most of your clients stay-at-home moms that are looking to try to get a fitness routine?
Or work at home moms. Yeah.
Okay.
The majority of them, yes. So when I started, I catered to, I wanted to work just within the hours that my girls were in school.
Gotcha.
So that it didn't interfere. I could take them to school and pick them up. So that's kind of how I first started, was just either retired ladies in the neighborhood or moms that had young children at the same, at school at the same time as mine.
Okay. All right. And it's interesting you mentioned retired moms. What do you say to those who think it may be too late to get started, like someone who's retired and they say, well, it's too late for me to.
It's never too late.
Okay.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just, like you said, just need to start walking or do something.
Something.
Get off the couch.
Something is better than nothing.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. So sticking with that kind of subject, what can the over 50 crowd, I'll just say that, the over 50 crowd now do to prevent some of the rapid physical decline we've seen in senior citizens in our own families? I mean, what are some of the things you suggest they do?
Move more.
Okay.
So many people, they retire and they just kind of stop.
Right.
You have to stay active, walking, make sure you're drinking adequate water, getting adequate protein, especially for women. As we age, our bone density decreases, and it's so important that we maintain that health. So if we do fall or, get an injury, that we can come back from that.
Okay.
And then strength training. It does not matter how old you are or if you're overweight or underweight or whatever, strength training is king.
Okay. And you say strength training. So what do you mean by that?
Lifting weights.
Okay.
And
Does that have to be free weights, or it can be on a machine? Or?
Machines are a fantastic place to start, especially for those that don't have any type of training, from past life experiences or anything,
Okay.
or have never done it before. Machines are fantastic because there's only one way to do them. They're kind of foolproof.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so those are wonderful. Everybody can do those. And then free weights is best because you can get a better range of motion, all kind of different little things you can do with strength training.
Okay.
And that doesn't mean you have to be like a CrossFitter throwing heavy weight around, or a bodybuilder and grunting and throwing heavy things up over your head. That's not
Right.
what it means.
Okay.
But this is where you could go find a personal trainer to at least give you some sessions and guidance to get you familiar and comfortable with how to do that.
Okay.
And then go on your own.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very good. So tell us again, what's the best way to reach you?
My email is hopefaithfit@gmail.com, or you can call or text 713-818-6625.
Okay, very good. Now, you mentioned that you have two twin girls.
Yes.
How old are they now?
They are 9.5.
Not 9.5.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So what do they think of your business, or are they even aware of your business? I guess?
For sure.
Yeah.
One is all about it, and the other one is kind of, she's about it, but They like to call us the healthy family, which I think is hilarious.
Very good.
Well, yes. Yes and no. They get a little judgmental, and I have to bring them back a little bit.
That was going to be one of my other
Yeah.
questions. Do they notice the difference between, like, say, your family and what you guys do versus their friends' families and what they do?
They do. And let me be perfectly clear. We are not perfect. We still enjoy pizza and ice cream and cookies and whatnot. It's just not the norm.
Right.
Okay. So they are not deprived in any way. They've been doing it for so long that they make their own decisions
That's awesome.
within limits.
Yeah.
We don't bring garbage into the house, so they don't have that to choose from.
Ah,
But
okay.
they choose the good stuff on their own anyway. But they'll come back from school, and one of them, who shall remain nameless in particular, Mommy, so-and-so had a Lunchable, or they had
Oh, my.
cookies and Kool-Aid in their lunch. And I say, okay, well, that's what their parents chose to pack them. We don't judge what other people eat. They could have had a really great breakfast or they're going to have a great dinner. That's their choice.
Right.
Well, that's just not healthy.
Oh, wow.
I know, honey. So it's a hard balance sometimes.
So are they whipping their friends into shape and making them do sit-ups or something?
No.
Not that you know of, huh?
Not that I know of. Oh my gosh. I might crawl under a rock if I find that out.
Oh, that's too funny. So, in talking about this, what's the best way? Because you mentioned, I think I'm seeing on your website that childhood obesity is a problem. We all know that.
For sure.
And now that your daughters see the difference between the way you guys live in your family and the way other families live, what do you think is the best way to get this started in others? Like, just to get kids started?
Oh, that's such a great question. It really starts at home,
Okay.
unfortunately, and there's a big issue with that right now. We're missing in the industry on how to get that knowledge and education into the parents' hands.
Right.
It's not the kids' fault. They're eating what their parents
right.
are giving them. I don't know. That's something that I'm trying to work on and figure out where we need to go to fill in that gap.
Okay.
It's a tough one, and it's obviously a very big problem.
Right.
Yeah, they notice for sure.
Okay. That's interesting. So tell us about, you have a lot of programs on your website. So tell us about some of the different programs that people can pick from.
Well, it's not so much programs to pick from. Every client is different.
Okay.
Every goal, physical limitation or whatever they're trying to attain is different. So I don't have a cookie cutter program, if you will.
Okay.
I have different services that I offer.
Well, there you go. Sorry, talking about your services.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
Hopefully that's what you were getting at anyway.
exactly,
I kind of
yes.
went off. Yeah, okay. So I do have a youth exercise. Man, you would think I would know how to say it properly. I can train kids.
Okay,
How
well, very
about
good. That's where I was going with this. If you had a kids program or something that if the parents didn't know what to do,
Yeah.
they could say, well, go do this, and kind of point them in the right
Yeah.
direction.
So again, I don't have like a set, typed out, this is what we're going to do today, because every child's different.
Mm-hmm.
And little bitty ones, especially, they have no business doing any type of strength training.
Well, yeah.
So you just find ways to make it fun for them, make exercise fun, make little games. A lot of the things that some of the schools do in PE is fantastic for them.
Okay.
And then just slowly teaching them, healthy choices. And hopefully they take that home with them too.
Right. Okay.
And I offer corrective exercise for anybody of any age. But what that means is, let's say you sit at a desk all day.
Mhm.
So you've probably got some imbalances. You've probably got some rounded forward shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
Your head's probably protruding a little bit. I can fix all of that through proper exercise and strengthening, stretching.
Okay.
And then there's just some people like a really hardcore, just slam the heavy weight around workout, and others need more flexibility. So it's all about what the individual needs.
Okay. Because I know you said you had some, I don't know if it was remote type activities or web-based activities, something that where you couldn't be face-to-face with them?
Okay, yes. So in the past, I have written workout programs for people that if you came to me and said, hey, I've been a gym rat for years, I know what I'm doing, but I need to change things up, I would write a plan for you
Okay.
and send that to you, and you just follow that plan on your own time at your own gym.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Very good. Are there any other services that you offer?
I also do nutrition consulting.
Really?
So I am not an RD, so I'm going to put that out there.
Okay. What's an RD?
A registered dietitian.
Okay. All right.
Okay. But I do have the credentials to help guide you with proper nutrition choices, the very basics for meal planning, label reading, grocery shopping, just kind of how to clean up your diet in a easy way.
Okay.
So that's definitely something I offer. And I'm also working on my health and life coaching certification, which I'm super excited about. Because I can give you all of the workouts, I can give you all of the things to eat, but if you don't make that mental shift,
Right.
none of that's going to happen.
Right.
So that's where that's going to come into play
Okay.
later on this year.
Oh, very good. So that's
Yeah.
something that you're still working on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, very good. Okay. Well, we'll be talking with Breanne Turner. She's a personal trainer. And when we come back, we're going to talk about some other things that you need to think about if you're going to get healthy. Stay with us.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Is there someone you know who is hooked on vintage aircraft? Follow the Commemorative Air Force and its fleet of World War II planes, including the mighty B-17 Flying Fortress Texas Raiders, which is based in Conroe, Texas. Texas Raiders tours locally and all around the United States, offering the public a chance to put their hands on aviation history. What could be a more perfect gift than a flight on a historic B-17? Taking to the sky on the iconic bomber is an experience that will never be forgotten. For the touring schedule, reservations, or more information, go to b17texasraiders.org or call 855-FLY-A-B-17.
The Hispanic Chamber Connection is sponsored by the Amel Insurance Agency, located at 719 Sawdust Road, Suite 103, the Woodlands, Texas. The Amel Agency is a family-owned insurance agency that provides home, life, automobile, and umbrella insurance coverage. Since 2006, the Amel Agency has been a bilingual insurance service for businesses and private citizens in the Montgomery County area. For more information on the Amel Insurance Agency, please visit the Hispanic Chamber Connection at www.irlonestar.com/HCC. The Amel Insurance Agency is available by telephone at 832-525-5656 or online www.amelagency.com. The Amel Insurance Agency is a sponsor of this program, and the Hispanic Chamber Connection thanks you.
A Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the Hispanic Chamber Connection, a radio program that features and promotes members of the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. My name is Tom Brody. I'm the Vice President of Membership for the Chamber, and today we're talking with Breanne Turner, who's the owner of Hope and Faith Fitness. And one of the things we talked about, Breanne, and you said you've actually got this. It's like the 10 best tips to achieve lasting results in your personal fitness journey. So why don't you tell us about those things?
All right, I'm just going to read down the list and make it really simple. How's that?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so number one is to start small. You did not get to your current state of health overnight, and you're not going to reach your ultimate goal overnight either. Baby steps are the way to achieve lasting results. So don't think you need to do a major diet and exercise overhaul. That's just going to lead to failure.
Okay.
Okay. Number two, sleep. Aim for at least 7 hours.
Wow, okay.
I know that's really hard for a lot of people, but here's the thing. If your sleep is all out of whack, everything else is going to be too.
Okay.
It is insanely important, and even more so important for our kids.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Especially
how
when they're young too.
that's where their brains are growing. It's
Right.
pretty darn important. Number three, water is your best friend. Don't stress about the ounces consumed, and a little TMI, but if your urine is clear to pale yellow, you should be good to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, it's funny. I remember there was, I guess it's the University of Houston coach, used to be, and now he's at University of Texas. He's got a sign up in the locker room talking about the shades of yellow of urine, and it said if your shade is this color or darker, you're letting your team down. So he's making it that much of a, you're not being a good team player because you're not
Right.
being hydrated. So I thought that
Yeah.
was interesting, and that kind of stuck with me. So that's something.
Kind of funny, but
it's easy to
true.
check. Yeah.
It really, it's so simple.
Yeah.
So simple.
Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Number four is try to eat as many whole foods as possible. And what I mean by that is to eat all of the colorful fruits and vegetables and eat things as close to nature as possible, meaning a potato versus a potato chip.
Ah, gotcha.
Okay.
Right.
And that whole stick to the outer ring of the grocery store thing, that's where all the freshest food is. Okay.
Okay.
Super, super basic. Oh, and a little add on to that one too. I understand that it might not always be conducive for the budget to shop that way.
Right. Yeah.
So if you have to, if that's not in your budget, then at least get the frozen. Frozen is the next best.
Okay.
If you can't do organic first and then just the regular produce.
Right.
And if you can't do that, then frozen is
Frozen.
your next best bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. And number 5 is do something you enjoy. Like we talked about earlier with the kids going to ballet and she hated it. Why? Don't do that.
Right.
Find something you love. And it doesn't have to be a traditional form of exercise. It can be, maybe you like to scrub the floor on your hands and knees and like you're getting into a sweaty mess doing
Yeah.
that. Come over and do mine too. But if you like dancing, do that.
Okay. Sure.
Gardening, if you work up a sweat, just figure out whatever that looks like for you.
Okay.
And number 6 is to practice moderation, not deprivation. This is something I'm really, really big on, the whole fad diet thing. And people are omitting macronutrients, which is your carbs, fats, and proteins.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
just decide, I'm not going to eat meat, or I'm not going to eat carbs, or whatever it is. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Not for a sustained amount of time. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not healthy.
Right.
It's not going to last, because what's going to happen as soon as you introduce those foods back in, all your hard work is going to go down the drain. So, like I mentioned earlier, I eat the pizza and the ice cream. I don't do it every day,
Right.
but when I want to eat it, I do, and I enjoy. And then that next meal is back to my normal way of eating.
Okay.
There's no feelings of guilt. There should never be guilt. Okay.
Good point. Good point.
Okay, number 7 is to schedule your workouts. Just like you schedule a doctor's appointment or something to do with your kids at their school. Schedule it. And if you don't have an hour of time, that's okay. Can you find 10 minutes? 10 minutes is great. And if you can find a couple little 10-minute pockets throughout your day, even if it's
Okay.
just 2, that's 20 minutes of exercise right there. Nobody ever said it had to be 20 minutes straight or an
Yeah.
hour straight.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's a lot of things. People don't think about it that way. They just think, oh, I don't have an hour to go to the gym.
Right.
You don't need an hour.
Yeah.
Okay? Number 8, plan your day to the best of your ability, but be able to roll with the changes too.
Okay.
Things never go exactly the way we want them, right?
Right.
So do your best. Write out your schedule the night before so you know what you're going into the next day. And then be okay if something changes.
Yeah.
It's
that's a good
okay.
point.
It's
Yeah.
okay. Number 9 is to write down your goals and your intentions and actually write them with a pen and paper. Don't do it in the notes on your phone. I know it's convenient, but it's not the same. There's something with putting a pen to paper that makes
Right.
it more real,
Yeah.
I guess. So take some time, saying, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds. Okay, why? Really think about what you're trying to do.
Right.
And then lastly, and this one is really important to me, and I can kind of go off on this one maybe a little bit, is to give yourself some grace. This is
Okay.
not an all or nothing journey. And I know that because I used to think it was. Back when I first started really working out hard, and I got so wrapped up in the numbers. I had to achieve the number on the scale. I don't know where the number came from, but it was there, and I had to get there
Okay.
at all costs.
Right.
And I did. And I remember, I'll never forget, I stood on the scale and I got that number and I was so excited because it was like my life is going to be perfect, right? Because I got it.
Right.
And then it was kind of like, oh, okay. Well, what now?
No.
I didn't look like I thought I was going to look.
Okay.
I didn't feel like I thought I was going to be this fantastic, life is wonderful because I reached that number.
Right.
None of that mattered. And I was so strict and I had worked so hard to get to that point. The intensity that I had to maintain, to continue with, to maintain that
Right.
was unrealistic.
Yeah.
So many people, when they start, they think they need to go to the gym 5, 6, 7 days a week and work out and just sweat to death for an hour every day. Well, you need to ask yourself, is that something you can keep up with for the rest of your life?
Right.
Because if you're working that hard in the beginning, it's only going to get harder.
Yeah, as your body ages, it takes a lot more to
It
you don't bounce back
does.
as fast, right?
Absolutely. And if you have a lot of weight to lose, you're going to lose faster in the beginning,
Right.
for sure. But when you get down to those last 5, 10, 15 pounds, it's hard.
Yeah.
And a lot of people won't tell you that, but it's harder than those first 10 to 15 because your body's been working so hard to get there.
Right.
So slower is better.
Yeah.
And know that you're going to fall off the wagon, so to speak. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have a weekend where you just lose it and go off the rails and the wagon runs you over. It happens and it's okay. It's
Right.
part of it.
Yeah.
That's where leading that healthy whole lifestyle and practicing moderation instead of deprivation will take you light years ahead of everybody else.
Right. And what's the best way for people to get on that? I guess it's changing the whole mindset, right?
It is. And it's very small little shifts. We get so ingrained in our habits. We might go and get a cup of coffee every morning without even thinking. And you don't really like coffee. You don't need it, but you just do it because it's there and you've done it for the past 10 years, right?
Right. And you've got 3 sugars and a cream in it.
Yeah, and not knocking on coffee, believe me.
Right. Yeah.
It's just habit changes. It's what can you do differently? What little bitty thing can you do today that you can continue to build upon?
Right.
So instead of going from eating McDonald's every day to eating nothing but salads, maybe you make one of those meals not McDonald's.
Okay.
And maybe I had a new client recently who literally did not drink any water,
Wow.
like
okay.
at all, unless
Yeah.
she was brushing her teeth. That was,
Goodness.
yeah. So our first goal, she has some weight loss issues and things like that. I said,
Okay.
well, our first goal is just to get you to drink a bottle of water.
Right.
And it took a good 2 weeks for her to be able to drink 1 full bottle a day.
Wow. What was she drinking?
Sodas.
Okay. Yeah.
And she came to me and said, I had no idea my urine was not supposed to be so dark.
Well, yeah.
So just start where you're at, start small. Just the littlest change can have the biggest impact. It will snowball into bigger things.
Right.
So
Yeah. Very good. Okay. Well, that's awesome. And I know that one of the things that I had done recently is I'd gone on the Ideal Protein diet, and it was actually there. My wife and I did it, but just in that was kind of a lifestyle change because we had a coach, and you went like once a week, and there was kind of that accountability because you kind of say, I've got to weigh in, and they're gonna do all the body measurements and
Sure.
the water mass and all those things that you measured, and they could actually tell you what your fat mass was versus lean tissue, and that was the thing where once you started losing some of that, but then if you're working out, all of a sudden you have a muscle increase, and so you look like you gained weight,
right.
and so that's one thing. Oh my God, I've gained weight, but it's a good thing.
Right.
Right. So
Yes.
it's things like that people may not guess, but if they're starting to work out
Right.
and changing their diet and they see the scale not really dropping,
Right.
if they're not checking both of those things, there really are, achieving some of their goals, but they maybe get discouraged.
Right, and that's a great point when it comes to being on the journey, so to speak,
Right.
is to not go off of the scale alone.
Yeah.
It can be your worst enemy because in your case, you may have been adding muscle on. Well, the scale's just going to show that as weight.
Right.
And you're thinking, what am I doing? I'm doing everything
Exactly,
right.
exactly.
Well, that's where I have my clients, we'll do body fat
Mm-hmm.
pictures. Pictures are fantastic and measurements,
Okay.
like with an actual tape measure
Right.
or a body scan. With pictures, just a little extra tip if it's something that you're going to be doing on your own is take your picture the same day of the week, the same time, and the same outfit
Right.
every week. Whether that's a bathing suit, it doesn't matter if it's too small for you, put it on
Right.
because you'll be able to put those pictures side by side every week or 2 weeks, and you'll see those changes that are not being reflected in the scale.
Right. Yeah, and that was a trick that we kind of picked. My wife and I picked up when we had the weigh-in days. Wore the same outfit, or
Yes.
same clothes.
Yes.
So it's so that you're measuring apples and apples.
Absolutely.
You're wearing a shirt or something else that's heavier than what you've done before. So that's going to throw the scale off.
For sure.
Very good.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, this has been great. We're talking with Breanne Turner. We're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to wrap up and talk about more fitness goals.
Awesome.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show. With monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
What is homelessness? Have you seen parents struggle to find a job without having transportation or childcare? What about the children sleeping in cars with nothing to eat? Families shouldn't have to struggle to survive, and children should not be homeless. Family Promise of Montgomery County serves the needs of homeless families and their children. Learn about ways you can help and learn about partnership opportunities at www.familypromiseofmc.org or call our day center at 936-441-8778.
The Hispanic Chamber Connection is sponsored by the Amel Insurance Agency, located at 719 Sawdust Road, Suite 103, the Woodlands, Texas. The Amel Agency is a family-owned insurance agency that provides home, life, automobile, and umbrella insurance coverage. Since 2006, the Amel Agency has been a bilingual insurance service for businesses and private citizens in the Montgomery County area. For more information on the Amel Insurance Agency, please visit the Hispanic Chamber Connection at www.irlonestar.com/HCC. The Amel Insurance Agency is available by telephone at 832-525-5656 or online www.amelagency.com. The Amel Insurance Agency is a sponsor of this program, and the Hispanic Chamber Connection thanks you.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the Hispanic Chamber Connection, a radio program that features and promotes members of the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. My name is Tom Brody. I'm the Vice President of Membership for the Chamber. And we're talking with Breanne Turner, who's the owner of Hope and Faith Fitness. And one of the things we kind of talked about a little bit is diets and fad diets in particular. What are your, I guess, how would you caution people about all the fad diets out there?
Well, here's the thing with diets in general. All diets work.
Okay.
They all do.
Okay.
As long as you do them.
Well, yes, that's true. Yeah.
So for somebody to say that this one's better than the other one, well, every body is so different.
Okay.
What's going to work for me isn't necessarily going to work for you. And
Right.
I see the keto diet is all the rage right now. And it does have its place for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It actually originated back from I don't remember how long ago it was, but for people with epilepsy and
Really?
seizures and whatnot
Okay.
is what it was designed for. It keeps their seizures at bay.
Interesting.
And then it kind of has just morphed into this, let's eat all the fat and not eat any carbs diet.
Right. Okay.
How and when that happened, I don't know. Unfortunately, the majority of people that follow this particular plan aren't doing it correctly. They're
Okay.
just eliminating carbs from their diet.
Right.
And you cannot eliminate a macronutrient without creating deficits. We need carbs. We have to have carbs.
Right.
And it's just so important that you do your research and don't let your brother's sister's girlfriend be your deciding factor in something.
Or
If
your
it's-
coach.
Or your coach, yeah. You need to find out what is best for your body.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, if you just get rid of all the diets and just focus on the whole foods,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to mess with any of this. You don't need to stress out about it.
Right.
People make it a lot harder than it needs to be. You know, we're looking for a quick fix.
Exactly.
That is and don't get me wrong, there's some days where I just don't want to either.
Right.
I don't want to work out. I want to eat a pizza all day. I'm human,
Yeah.
right? But there are no shortcuts. There's
Okay.
not all these pills and wraps and potions and drink this liquid gold stuff that I've seen. And these special workout methods. It's all garbage.
Mm.
Do you know any of those people that have done that and maintained a healthy lifestyle and never gained that weight back long term?
Yeah.
The percentage is very small,
Right.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I get it. It tugs at my heartstrings because I want a quick fix too sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, but it's not going to give you lasting results. And at the end of the day, we all want to be healthy and have long-lasting results.
Right.
And if you do it the right way the first time, it's the last time you'll do it.
That's awesome. That's a good way to approach it. Because one of the things I've seen people do is that they hop from one fad
Yeah,
diet to
right,
another,
right.
whatever seems to be in vogue at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And don't, I'm sure people are going to balk about me talking about the keto, but, and for a certain population, it is fantastic. For the morbidly obese
Mhm.
or diabetics, it's a fantastic plan to follow for them.
Right.
It truly is. But the majority of the population has no business doing it. If they would just, they're not losing weight from that. They're losing weight because they're finally watching what they're eating and exercising.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's the one thing, yeah.
You know, and that's, like I said, all diets work.
Right.
It's not that diet is working. It's you're finally paying attention to what you're consuming and you're not eating as much and you're moving more. That's
Right.
you're at a caloric deficit. That's what's working.
Yeah. That's
So-
for sure. Because when my wife and I were on the ideal protein diet, one of the things they told us is that abstain from alcohol, right? Because of the things we're eating, our body's in kind of transition.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had, they really scared us that if you have any alcohol at all, you could have just a crash of blood sugar and pass out. So we stopped that. And that
Mhm.
was part of the reducing your intake. And so the
Right.
calories that were in the alcohol helped us lose the weight even faster.
Right.
And I noticed that once we started come back and having a drink or two, it's like, wait a minute, what happened? You get on the scale again and go, oh, look at that. So
Right.
a couple of glasses of wine every night with dinner is not such a good thing.
Right. Right.
Or 4 or 5 beers on the weekend, yeah, that's not such a good thing. And so you can tie it to that,
Right.
and that's part of a lifestyle change too. You just
Right.
say, I have to give up that, or be more selective with it.
Be more selective, right? You
Yeah.
don't have to give it up.
Well, be more selective.
But yeah, and so you're a perfect example of that. You cut that out. Look what happened.
Yep.
You introduced it back in. Look what happened.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very good. So, Breanne, let's talk about your contact information, how people get in contact with you again. What's the best way to reach out to you?
Best way would be to text because, I'm a mom and being on the phone is not always fun.
There you go.
713-818-6625, or you can email me at hopefaithfit@gmail.com.
And you also have a Facebook page,
I
right?
do. It's Hope and Faith Fitness by Breanne Turner.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So if anybody's wanting to lose weight or get started or ask questions, please reach out to Breanne. And if you're a Hispanic Chamber member and have not been on this program, Breanne will be the first one to tell you this was easy. So if you haven't got it scheduled yet, please do so. Reach out to me, and we'll get you on the program. Like I said, we're booked up through probably early July. But after that, we can get you on, and this is a very easy program. And it's one of your benefits, so please take advantage of it. So until next week, this is Tom Brody signing off for the Hispanic Chamber Connection.
Thanks for checking out this show on Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. This show is owned and produced by Lone Star Community Radio and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. For more information about the show, to be a guest, or to sponsor, just contact the studio at 936-647-3776 to leave a message, or email us at lscrstudios@gmail.com.